Okay, hello. More train stuff with Madonna for the 3/8 date coming up in a day's time. Sunday it'll be. And then there's also the connections back in with 4/9 again with this and the Hoover Dam. In fact, it wasn't too long ago I was actually talking about this with a connection to Bullet Train and everything. Just a few weeks back now. And of course this is one we've talked about a bunch in the past as well. Anyway, let's look at the stuff for these two upcoming dates, okay? Firstly, you've got to know that towards the end of Speed, they end up on an underground train. Okay, again, this is interesting with the connection back to the Channel Tunnel. And this thing, well, let me just show you. We'll just click through it. This is Keanu and Sandra here, and they're about to come out. They're about to be reborn up from the underworld here, out of the underground train, and they're going to come through this big board signage thing here. We're going to use this 203. In fact, we're going to use it in reverse, 302. That number jump there we're going to do with this whole thing. But back to old videos here, talking about this looking like the Hoover Dam. Okay, we've got 1, 2, and the palm tree as well, of course, is pretty important. But 1, 2, 3, 4 regular pillars, and then the fifth element, which is the fifth pillar, which is the doorway, that we don't really think of it as being a pillar, but the doorway is the it's the gateway, it's the negative space of that doorway forms the pillar, okay, which is the spiritual realm. Hence we don't have an actual pillar that we can see there, okay, if that makes sense. Anyway, we're going to use that number. Anyway, what happens here, let's just play a little section of this. Notice that the train has the M on it for Madonna. The M train being rebirthed from the underworld. I don't really want to play too much of this. Let's go over here. Yeah, it's going to burst through. Do we need to actually get to that bit? Not really, but back it up just a little bit. Boom. There it comes through the dam. So obviously this thing, the thing with Madonna and train, the train wreck, the Channel Tunnel maybe, okay, and the completion of 9/11. Well, I'll show you the connection to that in just a second, and the breaking of the Hoover Dam as that completion ritual as well, all in close proximity. Well, I guess 9/11 is not really in close proximity, but let me just play another few seconds of this. Let me just click it on so we can watch it go down the road. Notice the number 13 on here. Okay. Go down the road. And coincidentally, I am thinking, now when I've talked about this in the past, coincidentally, when this was filmed, I may have been in Hollywood around about that sort of time, at least the 94. I'm sure we went to Hollywood in 94. And we went to the Chinese theatre, and we're going to see that in just a second. So, just little personal synchronicities with this stuff. Let's see if I can clip it. That's too far. Let's see. Come on. Problem is, if I pay too much, it's going to give me a copyright thing. That last video, one of the last videos I did, got some copyright on it. They let it go, but here we go. Space Odyssey 2001, 9/11, the 2001 event. Okay. There's also some other numbers that pop up here and some other little references, but we don't need all that because it's going to be short. I think there's a lot more in this to pick out well, I know there's a lot more connections to other films with this film, but there's more to pick out as well. Don't forget, in the last Matrix film, whatever that one was called, Keanu actually is in a movie theater, okay, and which has some references to the Hoover Dam, and then he ends up getting on a train, I'm pretty sure, in that film. on like a bullet train or train, I don't know. But anyway, the one, Neo, okay, super duper important. Anyway, the film, first thing to note, the release date, June the 10th, 94. 6/1/94, exactly the same numerology, because we can just get rid of that 0 without messing anything up. The exact same numerology is our freight train opening in the Channel Tunnel. Absolutely mental. That is pretty good. Okay. Anyway, we need to look at our two main characters in the film, Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. Okay, now let's look at these two. Sandra Bullock's birthday through to Keanu Reeves. Okay, hopefully I'm getting that right. Let's just double check. Sandra Bullock for sure. Sandra Bullock. Quick. Yep, 7/26/64. And Keanu. Yeah, 9/2/64 as well. Okay. Their birthdays are 38 days apart. Unbelievable. Absolutely crazy. When I saw that for the 3/8 date, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, what have we got here? This is Madonna's birthday through to the release of the film, 13/0/83. They give us the 13 on the top of the train. We have to figure out the 83 for ourselves. Okay, the 83. Okay, that's pretty flipping mental as well. We'll just click that and check that ain't something really. No, it's nothing. Okay, so that's pretty mental, right? What else have we got? So it's going to burst through that sign, yeah? So if we jump from the release of the film and we go 302 days, it's going to bring us out on what day? Look at that. 4/8. But what's important about doing 302 instead of doing 203, but doing 302 is, boom, look at that. Jump to 33. There we go. For 9/4 and 33. Okay. So that's pretty interesting with that number on the Hoover Dam bit there, you know. And if that ain't enough, if you go from the release again and you go 94 days back, okay, it's going to take you back to 3/8 for Madonna. So that's pretty blue and interesting for sure, I think. Okay, that's the speed train crash. Okay, remember Madonna 62/26, gematria train 22/62/26. Okay, we're thinking Channel Tunnel, something with the Channel Tunnel. I got to show you some other stuff here, some random stuff. I watched another film the other day, Paycheck. It's on. You can watch it on YouTube for free. Guess who it's got in it? Guess who it's got in it? Ben Affleck. Sum of all fears. And it's also got Uma Thurman. Okay, she does. I'm pretty sure the reference in Pulp Fiction to her dying is Madonna dying. Okay, so she's connected to Madonna, right? In the film Paycheck, it's basically, spoiler alert. Okay, the film is about seeing into the future and that ability leading to the destruction of the world. Okay, and trying to avoid that. Okay, the train that is about to run Ben Affleck over, who also has a very close birthday to Madonna. He's 8/15 instead of 8/16. 162 day. Oh, 162. 162 on the front of the train. Let's check out what 162 does for us. from Madonna's birthday through 162 days. Okay, actually, go back from Madonna's birthday, which would be coming up, 162 back to 38. So 38 is 162 days on to Madonna's birthday. Okay, on that train. So that is absolutely blooming mental. Okay, remember that last video we did with Atlas Shrugged? We'll go back to it and mention it with this number here. This is Uma Thurman's birthday through to 38. 20402. Remember, we had that number just popping in that last video. Okay, if you didn't see that one, go back and check it out. But 242 was really important. And interestingly enough, in the film, so we'll do some little sort of, I don't know, somebody might say I'm reaching on this, but in the film, the character that Uma is with is Vincent Vega, who is the reference for Elvis. Okay, and then in Atlas Shrugged, we had the John Galt character, which I'll talk about. I will mention him in just a second. I think we might just go to him and look at him. But he was actually born John Travolta's birthday, 77. 77 is when Elvis dies on Madonna's birthday. Okay, see the interconnectivity of these characters. Anyway, Uma Thurman's birthday through to Madonna's 19th birthday and also Elvis's death date, 2666. Okay, so that's what I had for that. But let's just go back to Atlas Shrugged for just 1 second. Okay, so the writer of Atlas Shrugged, I don't know how you say that first name, but Rand, okay. She was born 2/2/1905. Let me just show you from 2/2/1905 through to 3/8/26. 44229, yeah, 429 numerology, the same as Uma Thurman's birthday numbers here. And coincidentally, that is also Will and Kate's wedding, going back to the white wedding references with the royal families, with the royal family. Will and Kate, that was their wedding date as well. Okay, so that 429 is pretty important. What else did I have in here? I got some other random bits and pieces, so let's just go back through the random bits and pieces. This is completely off topic, but for some reason I had just checked it and it was just like, oh, okay. This is Kobe Bryant's death through to 3/8. Okay, we had the helicopter reference in. I know this is kind of reaching, you know, oh, we had a helicopter reference in The Sum of All Fears or whatever, but you know. Anyway, 2233. That was interesting. It's 6 years, 41 days. We've got the Donald Trump numbers in there. And also, if you do 49, we got the 2266 coming up. So, it's just interesting, okay? Move on down. I got some random number jumps, which I've shown this before, but I just wanted to go back through it so you could see it again. From the Hoover Dam to the birth of the Hoover Dam through to this 3/8, it's 33,033 days. Okay. Again, this ties in. So if Madonna was to die on this date, this would tie in with Elvis being on. Let's do this. Elvis being 33,330 days old on 4/9. Okay, so from Elvis's birthday to 4/9, so we'd have you would have that synchronicity there. It seems a bit too obvious with those two number jumps, but that seems way too obvious, you know. But there's your 3333, And also, just randomly here, I've got from the Hoover Dam to the opening of the Channel Tunnel, 21404. What was this? This was something. Oh yeah, this was interesting because it was the 19th thousandth composite number. So that's quite a big composite number, I'd say. And also, just go back to the Elvis number here. If you go ahead and just don't include end date, we've got the 923, numerology there. We've also got 91 years, 91 days as well, which is really fascinating as well because, of course, Elvis dies on Madonna's 19th birthday, and 9-1 is the reset point for the Fibonacci cycle. Okay. What else we got here, Dan? What's this one? That one we just did. Oh, and I've got some other number jumps with those 33s we'll look at in just a second. For some strange reason, I've got that Mar-a-Lago shooting. It's 47 days from that on to 49, 47, Trump 47. Let me show you these random 33 number jumps. Oh, well, we'll do that in just a second. Let me show you these 33s and then we'll jump back to one other last thing and then we'll be done. I thought, you know what I'll do? Just run out some 333 number jumps for Madonna just to see what that would land on, to synchronize with the other quadruple threes there. Her birthday, 3,333 days. We can get to the Hoover Dam with that, one of the Hoover Dam birthdays there. We can get to the day of the year that Hoover Dam was birthed on, and you can also undo that and click on a day and you'll get to 101 as well, which I thought was pretty interesting. Also from Elvis's, this is probably why I had that Mar-a-Lago thing in, it's coming out on 222 as well. This is Washington as well, so just bear that in mind with all the ideas of like the destruction of Washington. That would be the destruction of the government maybe. But 333, George Washington's birthday, the dollar bill stuff, the dam is right there, that's the idea of, and of course the Hoover Dam built the same year as, opened the same year as Elvis as well, 1935. What else we got here, Dan? Hoover Dam through 3333 days as well. This is really interesting. This is a personal synchronicity for me, pretty much. This is all these threes here. This is 3 days before my father's birthday, so that's pretty interesting for me personally. But this 1114, there's a ton of stuff you can get with 1114. In fact, I believe there's even, yes, look at this, passenger train. Okay, so they took lorries through, freight through, and then finally actually opened for passenger service, I guess, on the 14th of November 94. So that's a big day as well, connecting back with the Hoover Dam there. What else have I got? One last thing. Matthew Perry. I've got this film up, Fools Rush In, because this has got the Hoover Dam in it big time. If you've never seen the film, it's an okay film. It's a cute film, but it's got a bunch of references to the birth at the Hoover Dam. Okay, and Matthew Perry's in it. Let me just show you from his death. This is his death date. Look at this, 861 through to 37. So just click on the day. So the midnight hour, again, going through Madonna before, boom, okay? We've got her numbers there, okay? That's it for this, okay? Just some random stuff that I had. I got a couple other train things that I want to check out as well, but I just haven't got time to, it just takes forever to go through stuff and look at number jumps and all the rest of it. But there you go. absolutely crazy. The speed stuff is just nuts, and I think there's more in speed as well. I think there's a little bit more to speed, especially with Keanu and Sandra Bullock. 38. I just couldn't believe that when I saw that. Okay, thanks for watching, and I will catch you on another one soon. Alright, cheers. Right, bye.